Hi, this is Ann with Fiber Designs by Ann, and this is patch number 3 in my thrifted denim jacket and embroidered patches project. I began with a simple drawing of a kitty and flowers and leaves. I changed the original design a little bit for this patch. I placed white fabric behind the painted background fabric. I stitched the design in a hoop, but instead of drawing directly on the fabric, I used a draw-on water-soluble stabilizer by Silky. I'm not receiving payment or a product for mentioning the stabilizer. I just really like to use it. After fitting the patch into the opening in the jacket, I used light blue floss to stitch a running stitch just to hold the patch in place. Next, using green floss, I stitched leaves. These leaves aren't any particular leaf stitch pattern. I just stitched as I went to cover the edge where the patch and the denim meet. I added more flowers to fill in and balance the patch. I talked about putting something on the back of these embroidery pieces to help them just stabilize them and kind of give them a lining, a facing to protect embroidery a little bit. And this is the product that I use. It's really a beautiful product, and so you iron it on. It has adhesive on one side, and it's very soft. And I've used it on other shirts when I just needed to kind of, something I kick around in, and I just needed to fix a hole so it wouldn't keep fraying or keep opening, and I just put a little patch of that on the back and maybe do some stitching, and it lasts. One shirt I have has been washed for years, and it's still holding up very nicely, so I like to use it. And I'm going to try it on my kitty, the back. And if you're one of those people that thinks the back of your embroidery should be neat and orderly, I'm sorry. I'm not too much of a purist when it comes to that, depending on what it is, of course. And so I've cut a piece of the Silky, they call it cover a stitch or stabilizer. You just want to make sure you have the correct side with the adhesive down, of course. And I have a funky old iron, and it only has numbers, and I haven't looked up which number means wool, but I think that's the wool setting is, I think, what they recommend. Make sure I have it smooth on top. I'm doubting myself. And I will try, I could test a piece on something, which would be a wise thing to do, but I'm going to just put a little corner of this down here and see if it doesn't melt away the top. So that adhered it a little. We want to let it cool, of course. So I think that I'm okay. You just don't want to, because it's synthetic, you don't want it to melt the top. And I'm also thinking that I may not have it even hot enough, especially going over the texture of the embroidery. Okay, well, I had to take a little intermission there. I had my iron too hot, did not use parchment paper, melted it a little bit. So I figured out that it's like a 4, almost a 5 on my iron that is safe. Once I had my iron in the right heat, it went on just beautifully. It's nice and smooth, and you could see I doubled up where I melted it a little bit, and did use the parchment paper after that, which if you have your iron setting, that's not necessary. Anyway, it did the job. It feels nice and smooth, and it looks just fine on the other side. So that's how I'm going to do the inside on as many of these as I can. I'm not sure I'll be able to get the iron on all of them, but I'm going to sure give it a try because I just love that product. And I'm not paid to advertise or talk about this product. It's just something I've used, and I really like using it. So I drew the kitty quite a long time ago, thinking I was going to just embroider it for the fun of it. But then there was this hole in the jacket, and I decided to put it in there. I just love it. It was really fun to make, and I think it's so cute. The patch is covered by the collar when it's like this, but when I wear it, it doesn't rest right on the patch. I hope these patches are giving you ideas what you might be able to do on a recycled denim something or just about anything. And if you like this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Be sure and tap the bell to get notifications for my most recent videos. Until next time, this has been Ann. Thanks a lot for watching.